Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the visiting Tigers of Newton North High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Well, today is senior day for the Brookline High baseball class of 2024. Brookline getting set to honor their 8 seniors this year. Captains Keenan Sawada, Harrison Siegel, and Charlie Engelman, as well as their other seniors, Avery Melton, James Dialchand Erickson, Ben Doctoroff, Nico Hart, and Ben Rosenblatt. And Brookline riding pretty high into this senior day game as they just clinched a spot in the state tournament, securing their 10th win of the season in a nail-biting 5-4 victory over Wellesley last Wednesday. So Brookline's feeling pretty good. The latest power rankings that came out on Friday morning had them ranked 31st. But for now, the moment is not so focused on the game ahead and more so a little bit on the journey so far as the team gets ready to have its senior day ceremonies. I'm going to zoom in a bit for this one. I don't know if we'll be able to hear much of the ceremony from all the way up the third base line where I'm positioned. Looks like they're going to go further up the first base line to line them up right across from the little stands they've got out there on the left field side. Easy way to make sure they get the parents involved with this, because that's always one of the really sweet things about senior day is, you know, you get to celebrate it with your folks, you know, celebrate all the time and commitment that's gone into, you know, such a lengthy student athlete career as you get ready to embark on, you know, the next step of your life after high school. We got a couple of congratulatory notes in the live chat from a couple of our baseball grandmas, from Barbara Jo Metzger and from Peter and Diane Berry. And Diane also pointing out that Brookline senior catcher Avery Melton has been cleared today. He did miss the Wellesley game last week with a concussion that he had sustained in a game against Milton last Monday, but he has been cleared to play today for his senior day game, so that is really nice for him. Yeah, we can't really hear him from this far down, but we can see the seniors being honored. Looks like first they've brought out number 5, one of the co-captains, Keenan Sawada. And Sawada, he's been a 3-year starter for this varsity team. What a special talent he's been in the infield, at the plate, on the base paths. And now another guy who's been a 3-year starter and another co-captain, number 14, Harrison Siegel. You know, at times his hitting numbers have just been out of this world. His abilities in the outfield have been so great, has such a strong arm out there. And this year, he really put on display just how fast he is, both in covering that range out in center field and in being a threat on the base paths. Next up, the third co-captain, number 22, Charlie Engelman. And Engelman, who had such a rough outing on the mound his first full year with the varsity team, never gave up no matter how many rough outings he had, and he has had a gem of a season on the mound this season. And after a rough start at the plate, he has really exploded as one of Brookline's best hitters in the second half of this season. So got to give a lot of credit to that young man's grit throughout his career. Next up, number 17, Avery Melton. And this is a young man who's going on to play at the college level next year at Bard. An incredible catcher and a great hitter to boot for the team. Next up, number 7, James Dialchin-Derrickson was forced to miss the second half of last year and the first half of this year due to back-to-back injuries. One suffered in the middle of last season that ended his season, and one in the preseason this year that caused a late start, but he has still found a way to be an impactful player on this team. As next up, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Doctoroff has shown such utility for the team, both at the catcher position and taking on smaller roles as an infielder and as a courtesy runner at times. This year, as Avery Melton became the full-time starting catcher, accepted that lesser role, with dignity and a team-first mentality. Give that man a lot of credit. Next up, number 11, Nico Hart. Hart, a guy who was riding the bench for a lot of his sophomore season, but he showed promise in a strong starting pitching performance against Braintree late in that year, and he's been building on that promise ever since. And what a pitching season he's had this year as his magnum opus to close out his career. And then last but not least, I believe, is number 18, Ben Rosenblatt. Rosenblatt, maybe more of a platoon bench kind of guy, but he's always been more than willing to step up whenever his team calls on him. For those of you who have been following all the streams this year, and those of you who watched the intro video, you might recognize that he's the one who made that big 9-2 double play against Waltham, throwing out a guy trying to advance home from all the way from right field. So he's had his share of plays throughout his career. And all of these guys have had so many memorable moments throughout their time here. Special group in more than one way, as this is the first senior class that Coach Brendan O'Connor has been able to put out on the field all 4 years. Granted, in the freshman year, it was just Dialchin-Derrickson and Engelman that got called up from the freshman team late in the season. And Dialchin-Derrickson was the only one who saw the field during their state tournament run. But, this is a class that has played all 4 years. Of course, O'Connor's first year as the coach was canceled due to COVID in 2020. That first year, in that first proper year in 2021, they did make the playoffs, but only because everybody made it that year due to all the snafus of COVID. But this year, their senior year, their first time having a 500 or better season, the first time for this Brookline program since 2019 that they have done so, and their first playoff berth since these guys were all freshmen. So plenty to celebrate as we get ready for this one. Newton North coming out for our warm-ups. I'm going to run the intro video before we introduce starting lineups. From Warren Field, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Baseball. Diving catch is made by Harrison Siegel. And Engelman lifts one high and deep to left. Levine going back. It's over the wall! This pitch hard hit right at Sawada. Double play. They did it! Brookline wins! We are going to the playoffs! All right, so as we get ready to get this one started, we see Newton North warming up first, or not first. Brookline, I think, warmed up a little before Newton North arrived. They were just wrapping up their initial warm-ups when we started this stream. A few more notes in the live chat from Barbara Jo Metzger. Congrats to my grandson and Captain Keenan Sawada and the whole Warriors great team from Grandma in Buffalo, New York. From Cheryl Bollinger, Hughes, San Diego grandparents on board. Go Warriors. From Mary Walker, congratulations seniors. Go Brookline from Grandma back in Groton, New York. We got all the grandparents tuning in, and I absolutely love it. Let's take a look at the starting lineups coming into today, and we'll start with the visiting Tigers from Newton North. Newton North coming into this game with a 7-9 overall record. They were ranked 38th in the most recent power rankings, but those power rankings did not take into account their most recent win on Friday because the power rankings came out on Friday morning. So Newton North expecting to improve their spot within the power rankings once that win is accounted for, but while they are playing the power rankings game, hoping to get within the top 32, the only way that they can 100% guarantee a spot in the playoffs is to win all 3 games this week to close out the regular season, as they're only playing 19 games this year. One team on their schedule dropped out. They need to get to magic win number 10 if they want to clinch a spot, and so if they lose today, that guaranteed spot would be out the window. They would have to just try and do their best to improve their spot in the power rankings in the last couple of games after this. For Brookline, they've already clinched the playoffs with a 10-8 overall record so far. They were ranked 31st in the most recent power rankings on Friday. But even if their power ranking drops below 32, they will finish with a 500 or better record guaranteed, having gotten magic win number 10. Now let's take a look at those starting lineups. We'll start with Newton North. Leading off for the Tigers today, the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Mayoka. Batting second, the shortstop, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. Batting third, the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tombasia. Batting cleanup, the third baseman, number 15, Sam Perron. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 24, Mateus Avellino. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 8, Owen Levine. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 14, Luis Javier Hernandez. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 22, Drew Boucher. Not batting, but just starting on the mound for Newton North today, number 3, Adi Arian. So that is the roster for Newton North. If there are any Tigers fans tuning into this stream and I am messing up the pronunciation of any names, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat or by sending me an email. But now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Leading off for Brookline today, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Batting third, the shortstop, number 9, Elias Brendel. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 22, Charlie Engelman. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 7, James Dialchand Erickson. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. And not in the batting order today, but just starting on the mound for Brookline, number 11, Nico Hart. So that is the starting lineup for Brookline today, as we get ready to get this one started. Very sweet note from Barbara Joe Metzger in the live chat. We love you too, Jesse. Thank you so much. So what's interesting about this game, aside from just the inherent interest that comes whenever Brookline and Newton North face each other in any sport as longtime local rivals, even putting that aside, both teams kind of have a little bit of a payback motivation coming into this one. Earlier this season, these two teams faced off in Newton, and Brookline led by a complete game no-hitter from Hart on the mound and a 2-run home run to left from Engelman at the plate, defeated Newton North 5-0. So Newton North has a reason to want some payback. But then Brookline, they've routinely over the past few years faced Newton North in their senior day games, and Newton North has kind of routinely smashed them in their senior day games. I remember last year was a particularly tough blowout. I mean, Brookline's senior class that year, featured a number of guys who typically came off the bench, and they were getting the chance to start because Brookline wasn't in the playoff hunt at that point in the season. But they still got beaten in blowout fashion by Newton North in that game. And I think a similar thing happened the year before as well. So I think each of the last 2 years, Brookline has faced Newton North in their senior day game, and both times they got blown out. So Brookline's got a little bit of a payback factor as well. Both teams do. And you know what? This is what you want in a rivalry game. You want there to be a little bit of an extra edge to it. We see Newton North finishing the last of their pregame warm-ups, and then Brookline will take the field for the top of the first inning. And we are attracting a bit of a crowd out here at Warren Field. You know, we got the usual Brookline families out there up in left field. We got some Newton family members up the first base side here, and then I think we got, I don't know if this is a camp or a class or something like that, but we got a large group of kids here as well. So we're packing the house here at Warren Field. And so this one's going to be fun. All right, we see the head coaches meeting with the officials at home plate. Brendan O'Connor, the head coach for Brookline. James Greeley, the head coach for Newton North. So as we wait for Brookline to take the field to start this game, just a reminder, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. There will be one more regular season baseball game after this on Wednesday when Brookline will take on the Flyers of Framingham High School. But for now, we focus in on this one as Brookline starts their warm-ups. Let's take a look at the stats of our Brookline starting pitcher today, number 11, Nico Hart. Coming into this game, Hart has had 6 previous appearances on the mound this season, 5 of them starts. He's got a 2-1 win-loss record so far this season, having pitched 29 total innings over his previous 6 appearances. Has an ERA of 2.90, a team-leading whip of 1.38, and a team-leading 33 strikeouts. But of course, his big highlight on the mound this season was his last time facing off against Newton North when he threw a complete game no-hitter. In Brookline's 5-0 win over Newton North back then. That game, all the way back on April 24. It's been almost a month since then. So we'll see what we get here in today's game. All right, here we go. Start of the top of the first inning. Leading off for Newton North, the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Mayoka. First pitch, hits the zone, strike 1. Next one is low, ball 1. This one hit up the first base line, and that's a fair ball. Chased down by Bollinger, throw down to second, and he slides in safe. A leadoff double from Dom Mayoka. And we will not be seeing another no-hitter here, although it looks like Coach O'Connor is appealing the call of a fair ball. It was very close to the line. I thought it looked fair, but you never know. Depends on what the umps are going to see as they confer with each other. They reversed it. Oh, they reversed the call. It is a foul ball. So that instead of a leadoff double will be a foul ball for strike 2. Wow. And now the ump's giving the explanation to the Newton North coach, as that's got to be disappointing for the Tigers. Count is now 1-2 to Mayoka. That next one drops low for what I believe is ball 2. 2-2 the count. This one hit, hard grounder, fielded it short by Brendel, throw to first in time. And so instead of a leadoff extra base hit, it's a ground out to start the day. Now batting with 1 out and the base is empty, the shortstop, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. That one looks like it didn't quite break on him, high ball 1. Brief timeout. That one skips in the dirt, ball 2. Got another note in the live chat from Greg Hoffman. Let's go Brookline. Congrats to the seniors. Thank you very much, Greg. Happy to see you tuning in again. That one catches the low corner, strike 2. 2-2, the count to Huckabone. And he chops one, going to stay in the infield, but it's going to bounce right in front of them, and Huckabone's going to reach. And that's going to be a borderline hit error on that one, as he kind of hit it just into a weird spot, as Sawada and Brendel both kind of cycled around behind it to make sure it didn't go past them, and then it just dropped right in front of them, right at the base, and they almost collided with each other there. Huckabone reaches, and now with 1 out and a runner at first, up comes the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tombasia. First pitch fouled off, strike 1. throw back to first, and Huckabone dives back safe. That one hits the zone, strike 2. 0-2, the count to Tom Basia. That's a high ball 1. Runner taking off for second, high ball 2. Throw down to second, and missed the throw as Huckabone dives in safe. So a runner now in scoring position here with 1 out. 2-2, the count to Tom Basia. That one high and inside. Very close to the chin music there. Full count now to Tom Basia. And that one misses. Tom Basia battles back from an 0-2 count to draw the free pass. And now with runners at first and second and 1 out, up comes the third baseman, number 15, Sam Perron. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1. This one lifted, shallow center, Siegel charging in, sliding catches made, and that'll be out number 2 as the runners retreat back to the bags. So 2 down and 2 on here in the top of the first. Now batting the second baseman, number 24, Mateus Avellino. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Avellino was not amongst the hitters that faced Nico Hart last time. That one does hit the zone, strike 2. So a quick 0-2 count to Avellino. But we saw a count like this turn sideways against Tom Basia. Just outside, ball 1. And this can be kind of the problem when you're a more strikeout-focused pitcher. You get ahead in the count and you start trying to paint the corners, and when the batter doesn't jump on those. Oh, but that one drops in, strike 3. Top of the first, Newton North gets a couple runners on but cannot score. We move to the bottom of the first in a scoreless game. And if anyone's got like a premium connection to the team on Game Changer, if you could let me know how that play with Huckabone number 6 was scored, if it was scored a single or an error, that would help me out a great deal. In the meantime, the Newton North pitcher Adi Arian taking the mound for For the Tigers, he will face the top of Brookline's lineup with Sawada, Siegel, and Brendel. My apologies for all the nose blowing. It is getting to that part of the year where everything's flowering. And of course, there were a lot of flowers passed out for Senior Day as well. And unfortunately, I do have some seasonal allergies. But no time to worry about that now. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the first, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch is low, ball 1. You can see Sawada's stats for the season on the bottom of your screen. His batting average coming into today, 241. On-base percentage, 414. Slugging percentage, 296. As he takes strike 1. Sawada leads Brookline in walks this season with 15. Has 5 stolen bases, 11 runs scored, and 4 RBI. That's a high ball 2. Last time against Newton North, Sawada went 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Fouls this one off, strike 2. 2-2 the count to Sawada to lead off the bottom of the first. This one's hit, kind of goes off the pitcher's mound weird. Chased down by Huckabell and throw to first, beats him by half a step. And it'll be a 6-3 ground out to start. With 1 out, up comes the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Siegel leading Brookline in batting average, on-base percentage, base hits, hit by pitches, and stolen bases this season. As he rockets the first pitch he sees, out to right center, center fielder on his horse, over his head. This will be extra bases for Harrison Siegel as he races down to second with a 1-out double. Big extra base hit from Siegel as Brookline now threatens with a runner in scoring position and 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Now batting the shortstop, number 9, Elias Brendel. Brendel leads the team in runs scored with 14, but among the top RBI hitters as well as he takes a low ball 1 there. His last time against Newton North, Brendel went 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch, a stolen base, and a run scored. Runner taking off for third, and the pitch gets away. Siegel easily takes third. He was taking off before the pitch went wild, and so that will go on record as a stolen base. Honestly, I think even if the catcher had managed to block that one, he still would have made it. Siegel got a great jump on that ball. So runner now at third with a 2-0 count to Brendel, and that one almost hit him. Instead, it'll just be a 3-0 count as the catcher Hurley comes out to talk to Ariane. Note in the live chat from Barbara Jo Metzger, my brother, Uncle Mike, says congratulations to Keenan and the whole team on Senior Day. Well, tell Uncle Mike I said thanks on behalf of the team for his kind words. 3-0 the count to Brendel. That one does hit the zone. strike one. Still a hitter's count here at 3-1, but Brendel's not simply going to take a pitch if it comes in the zone. Hard hit out to right center. That one's going to drop in. That will be extra bases. Brendel comes through with an RBI double for Brookline in the first inning. Beautifully hit ball. This is the second game in the second time in the last 3 games that Brendel has gotten an RBI double, as he had one against Milton last Monday. Now he stands at second, and he threatens to score, as up comes the designated hitter, number 22, Charlie Engelman. First pitch to him outside for ball 1, as Brendel is kind of dancing off from second. We've seen one guy steal third, so we know Brookline is not afraid to be aggressive on the base paths. That one in there, strike one. Engelman, of course, had the biggest hit of the day the last time Brookline and Newton North faced off, as he had a 2-run home run to left. He finished the day 1 for 3 with just that home run. Big swing and a miss there, strike 2. 1-2, the count to Engelman with 1 out. Brendel at second, and Brookline leading 1-0. Brendel already taking off. They caught him in between. It's a bit of a pickle. Brendel diving back, and he dives back in the throw, gets away, and Brendel is going to try for... No, he's not. He thought about it, but he... Oh, boy. Exciting enough for you, folks? 1 inning in, we've already got multiple extra base hits, an overturned call, and now a pickle on the base paths. We're getting our money's worth with this one already, and it's just the first inning. They settle back in. Fouled off, and Engelman stays alive at 1-2. Engelman, the team leader in slugging percentage for Brookline, comes into this one with a .500 slugging percentage. Had a big 2-run ground rule double in the win against Wellesley last Wednesday, as a timeout is called. Engelman, I believe, has 3 doubles and the home run for his extra base hit count. Brookline hoping he can have another big hit here. Oh! I don't think they were thinking that kind of hit, but Engelman will take the free base on the hit by pitch. So 2 runners on. And the coach comes out to talk to the pitcher, Arion. As Engelman trotting around to shake off the sting of that hit by pitch. In the meantime, runners at first and second with 1 out, and up comes the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. Melton, the team leader in RBI this season with 11. Also strong slash numbers, 300, 500, 300. First pitch curves in, strike 1. Brendel at second, Engelman at first. 1 down here in the bottom of the first. That one outside, ball 1. Important to note that while Arion did not get Engelman out, giving him a free pass to first does create a force at every base except home, increases the potential for a double play for the Newton North defense. Melton behind that pitch on his swing. 1-2 now the count. Arion takes a step off the rubber to keep the runners honest. That one just high, ball 2. Gutsy watch from Melton there. That was a close one. And that one high. Might have hung on him a little bit. That looked like a curveball that just didn't quite drop the way he wanted to. And it will be a full count to Melton, as Melton takes time. Slices it foul, stays alive with a full count. Melton went 1 for 4 last time against Newton North. He did have a big reach on error that brought in 2 runs early in that game. Swing and a miss. Arion endures the long battle at the plate against Melton and gets the 3rd strike. Now with 2 down, up comes the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. And Arion swivels around, check on the runners, keep them honest. Bollinger coming off a game on Wednesday where he had his first walk of his career all the way in the 18th game, as he knocks this one out to left, high in the air, and a can of corn for the left fielder Levine. That will end the inning. So Brookline with some explosive hits in the first inning. They get on the board, but just 1. As we move to the top of the second, Brookline leads 1-0. As Hart returns to the mound, he will be facing the 6, 7, 8 hitters in the Newton North lineup: Levine, Hernandez, and Hurley. All right, we now start the top of the second inning. Leading off for Newton North, the left fielder, number 8, Owen Levine. First pitch from Hart comes in high for ball 1. And that one high for ball 2. Couple of breaking balls that just weren't breaking on him. And that one breaks too much. Low ball 3. That one does hit the zone for strike 1. And this one hard hit over to short, fielded by Brendel. Throw to first and beats him there for out number 1. Now batting with 1 out and the bases empty, the designated hitter, number 14, Luis Javier Hernandez. First pitch low, ball 1. And catches a piece of that one, fouls it off for strike 1. That one drops low for ball 2. That one high and inside, ball 3. Second straight batter to face a 3-1 count against Hart this inning. And this time he takes strike 2. And this one he lifts out to left, and that's going to be a clean single for Luis Javier Hernandez. So while I had some questions about Huckabone's hit last inning, whether it was a hit or an error, there's no question about that one. As Hernandez reaches first on a clean single to left. Now batting the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley. First pitch in there, strike 1. So with that hit, there's no question at this point. There are a few questions after the first inning, but no questions now. We will not see another no-hitter today, as that one is fouled off for strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A quick 3-pitch strikeout to Hurley. And it's 2 down now as up comes the right fielder, number 22, Drew Boucher. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Boucher was not one of the batters who faced Hart last time, as he throws back to first to check on Hernandez. Hernandez dives back safe. Another throw back to first, and again Hernandez back safe. That pitch is going to be a low ball 1. 1-1 the count to Boucher. Runner is taking off for second, and it's a hit and run out to center. That's going to drop in safe. The runner holds at second. Didn't want to try and test Siegel's arm on the hit and run play, but back-to-back, or not back-to-back, but 2 singles. Get 2 runners on for Newton North for the second inning in a row. As we cycle back to the top of the order. with the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Mayoka. Mayoka's last plate appearance had some controversy to it. He had what looked like a leadoff double up the first base line that was overturned and called a foul ball, and he ended up grounding out to short. Takes strike 1 there. Now up with 2 down and 2 men on. Hernandez at second, Boucher at first. That one curves in as well, strike 2. 0-2, the count to Mayoka. And he rockets one high, deep to left center. Siegel under it for a can of corn. And so again, Newton North gets a couple runners on, but cannot score. As that ends the top of the second. So still a 1-0 game as we move to the bottom of the second, and it will be the 7, 8, 9 hitters that Arion will be facing. Dialchand, Erickson, Hoffman, and Doctoroff. And I'll tell you, sometimes when a pitcher gets off to a shaky start, you know, there's a few things that can help him get back in his rhythm. One is if he buckles down and minimizes the damage, which Arion did do last inning, gave up back-to-back doubles as Brookline got on the board first, but then didn't give up anything more after the hit-by pitch that put runners at first and second with 1 out. And then the other thing that can potentially help is if you face a weaker part of the order, that can help you get back in your rhythm and get back to throwing strikes depending on how it shakes out. So the bottom of the Brookline order going to try and put some pressure on Arion here, starting with the first baseman, number 7, James Dialchand Erickson. First pitch high, ball 1. Second pitch high again, ball 2. That's a low ball 3. Early hitters count to Dialchand Erickson. That one does catch the low corner, strike 1. And slices that one foul, full count. Interestingly enough, the last time these two teams faced off was Dialchand Erickson's first game back from an injury that he suffered in the preseason. Hits a chopper here, and it's booted by the third baseman. Picked back up, though, and thrown to first in time for out number 1. That one almost turned into a reach on error, but a quick enough recovery from the third baseman, Sam Perron, to get the out. Now batting for Brookline, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1. That's a high ball 1. 1-1, the count to Hoffman. That's a high ball 2. Check swing foul there, strike 2. So 2-2. Now the count to Owen Hoffman with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. That one is going to miss, ball 3. And a strikeout there as Hoffman caught looking. 2 down here in the bottom of the 2nd. And up comes the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. First pitch misses high, ball 1. So we've had two straight batters face full counts here in the bottom of the 2nd, and Ariane gets both of them out. As that's a high ball 2 to Doctoroff. That one hits the zone, strike 1. Doctoroff hits a high bouncer, taken by Perron again. Throw to first, pulls him off the bag, but he applies the tag. And that will be out number 3. So the bottom of the Brookline order goes down in order. And that ends the 2nd inning. Through 2, Brookline 1, Newton North 0. It'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters who will be facing Hart here in the top of the 3rd. Huckabone, Tombasia, and Perron. As Hart facing down his 2nd time through the Newton North batting order. In what is still a tight, low-scoring contest so far here at Warren Field. All right, leading off here in the top of the 3rd, the shortstop, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. Shows bunt and fouls it. Huckabone, his last time up, he got that weird bloop hit right at the second base bag that I'm going to have to check later tonight whether that was ruled a single or an error. That pitch comes in high, ball 1. That one's going to miss, slow and away, ball 2. This hard grounder over to short, fielded by Brendel. Long throw to first. Scooped up by Dialchin Erickson off the dirt for out number 1. Boy, that one looked like it was going to have infield single or reach on error written all over it, but Brendel made the long throw, and Dialchin Erickson with a nice scoop off the dirt at first base for out number 1. Now batting for Newton North, the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tambasia. That one comes in low, ball 2. That's a high, ball 3. So an early hitter's count here to Tambasia, who drew a walk his last time up. That one does not break enough. It's a 4-pitch walk to Tambasia as he gets his second straight base on balls today. 1 out, runner at first. Up comes the third baseman, number 15, Sam Perron. First pitch, hard grounder, blocked by Doctoroff. And a long throw to first does not beat him. Perron is going to reach on what I think is going to go down as an infield single because of how hard it was hit, but might go down as an error. That was a very close bang-bang play at first that probably could have gone either way, but Perron reaches first safely. That puts runners at first and second. Now batting the second baseman, number 24, Mateus Avellino. Avellino last time up struck out to end the first. This time, first pitch hit foul up the third base side, strike 1. There's a force at every bag except home. With 1 out here in the top of the third, Hart briefly turns around to keep the lead runner honest. Tambasia at second, Perron at first. That one hits the zone for strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Avellino. A throw back to second this time, but Tambasia gets back safe. Another turn, this time does not throw off the turnaround. That one misses outside, ball 1, as Avellino checks his swing. Count is 1-2. This one hit a grounder over to third. Doctoroff juggles it, and he can't make the throw anywhere. Had a potential play at 3 different bases, but couldn't make the decision quick enough for any of them. And Avellino reaches on an E5, and that loads the bases with 1 out for the left fielder, number 8, Owen Levine. Levine, his last time up, he grounded out to short. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. So Brookline's got both corner infielders up on the grass for a potential play at home off a grounder, but they got both middle infielders back for a potential double play if the ball comes their way. That one comes in low, ball 2, and Hart has to be careful. He can't issue a free pass here with the bases loaded. That would bring in the tying run. This one fouled off, strike one. Levine at the plate trying to tie or take the lead for the Tigers. Hart on the hill trying to get out of the bases loaded jam here in the top of the third. This one lifted out to center. Easy catch for Siegel. Runner tags, heads for home. Throw to the plate is cut off, and the tying run will come in on the sac fly as Tambasia races home. Sac fly to center by Owen Levine scores Danny Tambasia. And the score now tied at 1 apiece. Now batting the designated hitter, number 14, Luis Javier Hernandez, as he takes strike one to the outside corner. Hernandez, his last time up, got a single to left, but was left stranded at second. Now up with 2 outs and runners at first and second. That one curves in, strike 2. Quick 0-2 count to Hernandez. Goes for the high heat, but Hernandez does not bite on it. Ball 1. Perron at second, Avellino at first. 2 down here in the top of the third. That one comes in low, and again, Hernandez does not bite. 2-2 the count. Golfs this one foul off the defensive swing. Count 2-2. Hits a hard grounder off the mound, snagged by Sawada for the fielder's choice, and that ends the top of the third. But the Tigers do tie up the ball game. We move to the bottom of the third, even at 1 apiece. Oh, I was earlier. I wasn't sure if one of the guys in the first inning had a hit or an error, but I was still like, oh, just in case.
Tina sent me over here.
Yeah.
Which one? Was it on the one?
It was the back in the first inning. Yeah. But it doesn't matter at this point because they've gotten hits since then. Now as we move to the bottom of the third, it will be the top of the Brookline order. Coming up, Sawada, Siegel, and Brendel. As Arion begins his second go-around against the Brookline order. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the third, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada grounded out to short his last time up and gets hit by the first pitch he sees and trots down to first with a free pass. So the go-ahead run on the bags for Brookline right now, as up comes the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Siegel got a double his last time up, later came in to score. Sawada already taking off for second. Swing and a miss from Siegel, as Sawada slides in safe. That was kind of a lazy swing from Siegel. I think he saw how good of a jump Sawada got off the bag and just decided to kind of do a lazy swing just to throw off the catcher just a tiny bit. As that one skips in the dirt, and Sawada is going to take off for third on the wild pitch. Sawada so strong on the base paths. Immediately going from first to third there. And Siegel, hard contact, and it's booted by the shortstop, picked up, thrown to first, and he beats it out. Sawada in to score as Brookline takes the 2-1 lead. And while that might be scored as a reach on error by Siegel, to me, I think he still gets the RBI there because even if he had been thrown out on the ground out, it would have been an RBI ground out. So they're probably going to score that a reach on an E6, but I think Siegel still gets the RBI there. Now up the shortstop, number 9, Elias Brendel, as Arian checks on Siegel at first. Siegel stole third his last time on the bag, so Arian knows he's got to watch out for him. First pitch gets away from the catcher, and Siegel is going to take second on the passed ball. One 1-0 the count to Brendel, who got an RBI double his last time up. And he lifts one out to left now. Levine under it for the out. And that will hold Siegel at second. Runner at second, one out. Now batting the designated hitter, number 22, Charlie Engelman. Engelman was hit by a pitch his last time up. Now up in a similar situation with one out, a runner at second, and one runner having come home this inning already. Very much the same situation he faced back in the bottom of the first. Siegel dancing off the bag at second as Engelman takes a big hack at that one and fouls it over the backstop. That's one of those pitches where once you decide to swing, you can't stop, so you just have to try and get a piece of it. Because I don't think he was expecting the pitch to come in that high. That one stays high, does not break. Ball one. One and one. That one catches the low corner, strike two. You can see how much attention Arian is paying to Siegel over at second. Again, he's seen him steal third base once before. And now Engelman hits a dribbler right back to the mound. Arian throws to first, and that'll be out number two as he just allows Siegel to go to third. Probably best not to try and test that. You know, you had pretty much a guaranteed out at first. I would say that was the smart play. Now batting with two down and a runner at third, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. First pitch misses outside, ball one. Melton went down on strikes his last time up, now up with two down and a runner at third, hoping he can add to his team-leading RBI count as he takes that one all the way, strike one. Melton reaches out, hits a grounder, juggled, but picked up by Perron and thrown to first for out number 3. We are through 3 here at Warren Field as Brookline retakes the lead, but only just barely. The score after 3, Brookline 2, Newton North 1. As Hart returns to the mound for his 4th inning of work, he will be facing the 8-9-1 hitters Hurley, Boucher, and Mayoka. We begin the top of the 4th inning. Oh my goodness. And what a great start to the top of the 4th with me catching a coughing fit. Anyway, leading off for Newton North, the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley, shows bunt, drops it down, chased down by Hart, thrown to first in time for out number 1. Hurley tried to be sneaky there, but great reaction time from the pitcher, Nico Hart, to get a quick out number 1. Now batting, the right fielder, number 22, Drew Boucher. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1. That one comes in high, ball 1. That's a low ball 2. Boucher, his last time up, got a single. And he is now facing a 3-1 count. This one hit up the third base line, foul. A full count now to Boucher. And this one's a grounder over to short, and it's bobbled by Brendel. Took a bad hop at the last second, and Boucher will reach on the E6. That's tough. When it's one of those slow rollers and you're playing back and you got to charge in for it, and especially if it still reaches the infield dirt where it can start taking those weird hops, that's tough. But at the end of the day, it's still going to go down as a fielding error. Now batting the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Mayoka, as he takes ball 1. Mayoka so far today 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and a fly out to center. Throw back to first, and Boucher gets back safely. And Mayoka lifts one out to right center. That's going to bounce into the gap, chased down by Siegel, and that's going to hold the batter at first. But Boucher is going to go down all the way to third off a long single to right center by Dominic Mayoka. And the speed and range of Harrison Siegel out in center field definitely saved an extra base hit there. Might have potentially saved a run. But that will come down to how the next batters play out. As now up comes the shortstop, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. Huckabone had that weird infield single, maybe reach on error in the first inning, then grounded out to short to lead off the third inning. Now up with runners at first and third. As I believe that was a low ball 1. Wouldn't be surprised if they sent Mayoka to steal second with the cushion of having a runner at third, as that's a high ball 2. As that would also prevent the force at second, as right now they are in a position for a potential inning-ending double play if Huckabone puts this one on the ground. And he does put this one on the ground right up the middle. Brandel juggles it, tags second, gets the out, but cannot make the throw to first to get Huckabone, and Newton North does tie the game. So Huckabone grounds into the fielder's choice at second. Mayoka is out, but Boucher does score. Ties us up at 2 apiece. And are the umps conferring over a potential... It looks like they might have conferred briefly for discussion about whether or not that was runner interference on Mayoka. They said it wasn't, and I agree with that call. Honestly, I think what interfered more was that Sawada was covering second, thinking that Brendel would flip it to him, but Brendel juggled the ball and just had to try and tag the bag himself, didn't have time for a toss, and so they didn't have time to then go to first for what could have been an inning-ending double play. Now batting the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tombasia, as he takes strike 1 there. Tombasia 0 for 0 so far today with 2 walks and 1 run scored. This pitch high, ball 1. 2 outs, Huckabone representing the potential go-ahead run at first, as we are all knotted up at 2 apiece. That pitch catches the outside corner, strike 2. Runner is taking off for second. Tombasia skies it. Out to shallow left. Hoffman coming in for it, and he's got it for out number 3. Newton North tried to swing the hit and run there, but did not work out, and we now move to the bottom of the 4th, tied up once again at 2 apiece. And it will be the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up for Brookline: Bollinger, Dialchand, Erickson, and Hoffman. All right, we start the bottom of the fourth here, tied at 2 apiece. Leading off for Brookline, the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger, as he takes a low ball 1. Ariane back on the mound for Newton North for his 4th inning of work. Big swing and a miss there, strike 1. Bollinger flew out to left his last time up to end the first inning as he takes strike 2 there. 1-2 now the count. Swing and a miss. Tried to go for the defensive swing, but only caught air. As Ariane gets the first out of the inning. Now batting the first baseman, number 7, James Dialchand Erickson. Oh, the first pitch hit his bat. Oh, he was trying to pull back to let the pitch go by him, and it hit the end of his bat, so that will count as a foul ball and a strike. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. Dialchand Erickson grounded out to third his last time up, now facing an 0-2 count. That one curves in low, ball 1. That's high ball 2. And delayed swing, fouls it off, stays alive at 2-2. And don't worry, folks, that wasn't a pitch. Ariane just exchanging for a new baseball. That one inside, ball 3. So a full count to Dialchand Erickson. He got a full count last time, ended up with a ground out. And this time he rips one out to right field. That's going to bounce in for a 1-out single. And we have got a pinch hitter coming in, it appears. Coming to the plate now is the last senior to step onto the field for Brookline today, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt. Runner at first, 1 out. You can see Rosenblatt, he hasn't had too many plate appearances so far this season. 1 for 6 on the season so far at the plate. Couple of sac bunts. And, oh no. Oh, Dialchand Erickson lost his balance, went for an awkward dive back to the plate, and it looks like he might have wrenched his shoulder. And Dialchand Erickson is coming off the field. Oh, you hate to see that. Hate to see that happen to anyone, but especially to a guy on his senior day, and especially to a guy who's already had such rotten luck with injuries over the past year. So certainly hope that that's not anything serious, and hopefully, it doesn't look great. But here's hoping that Dialchin Erickson can be back in the lineup soon and will be okay. In the meantime, taking over at first base for him will be number 12, Wally Lawrence. First pitch to Rosenblatt, hits the zone, strike one. Throw back to first, and Lawrence dives back safely. This one comes in low to Rosenblatt, ball one. And that one's low. Lawrence thought about taking off. That might have been a mistake, but he barely gets back safe. Boy, when you're a base runner and you make a decision, 99 times out of 100, you don't want to go back on your decision because it'll be much worse than sticking with it. This one lifted foul and out of play by Rosenblatt, strike two. That's a high ball, three. A full count to Ben Rosenblatt here. That one misses, ball four. So two runners on now for Brookline, with one out here in the bottom of the fourth. The bottom of the order trying to rally here, see if they can get Brookline back on top. Now batting the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Ariane steps off the mound briefly. Keep the runners honest. First pitch to Doctoroff is in there for strike one. Doctoroff, his last time up, grounded out to third to end the second inning. Hits a hard one here up the middle, fielded it short, tag second, throw to first, and that will end the inning. The 6-3 double play ends the bottom of the fourth, and through four, we are tied at 2. We move to the top of the fifth now, as Hart returns to the hill for his fifth inning of work. Both pitchers have had a strong day so far. And we see a defensive substitution come in for Dialchin Erickson, number 16, Adam Rosenblatt. So again, hopefully Dialchin Erickson is okay. In the meantime, Hart will be facing the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Newton North: Perron, Avellino, and Levine. So we've now seen both Rosenblatt brothers, Ben and Adam, sub into this one, as I think Ben Rosenblatt has taken Hoffman's spot out in left field after pinch hitting for him, though I'm not entirely sure. It's a bit hard to tell all the way out in left. But we start the top of the fifth, leading off for Newton North, the third baseman, number 15, Sam Perron, as he takes a high ball 1. That one, did that hit him or the end of his bat? They say it hit him. Brookline's trying to argue it hit the bat, and the officials are going to confer, because it's a question. If it hit his hands, that's a hit by pitch. If it hits the bat, that's a foul ball. And it's overturned. It is a foul ball. They say it hit the bat. And so Perron will go back to the plate for what is, I believe, a 1-1 count. Perron, his last time up, he reached on a hard hit ball that bounced off the third baseman. Might have been ruled an E5, but also could have conceivably been ruled a base hit. Before that, he flew out to center back in the first inning. This one comes in low, ball 2. That one low as well, ball 3. So Perron 1 ball away from still getting a free pass. And he does. Another ball drops in low. And in the end, Perron does get to trot down to first. Now batting the second baseman, number 24, Mateus Avellino. Avellino, so far today, he has struck out and reached on an E5. Runner is taking off for second, swing and a miss for strike 1. Throw down to second. Got him! Oh, Perron made a big mistake by not sliding. He thought that with a pitch that low, that the throw wasn't going to come in on time, and so he came in standing up, and he paid for that, as that will be the first out of the inning. This one lifted high into shallow left. Several players on their horse chasing after it. Drops in foul territory. 1-2 now, the count to Avellino. Hits one, and it's over the outstretched glove of Doctoroff. That is a fair ball. Avellino thought about stretching it for 2, but he will take the 1-out single. Would have been a great play if Doctoroff had been able to stretch out and make that one, but just out of his reach. And so that will put a runner at first with 1 out. Now batting the left fielder, number 8, Owen Levine. That's high ball 1. And that throw out at second by Avery Melton, now much bigger, as with that single from Avellino, if Perron had successfully stolen second, then it would probably be first and third with nobody out for Newton North here late in a tie ball game. Instead, it's a runner at first with 1 out. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. Levine, his last time up, got a sac fly to center to drive in Newton North's first run as he takes strike 2. 1-2 the count. Throw back to first, and again, Avellino gets back safe. And a grounder to the left gap, and it gets past Brendel. Avellino thought about racing around second, but in the end decides to just hold as Levine reaches on the E6. So now runners at first and second with one out as up comes the designated hitter, number 14, Luis Javier Hernandez. First pitch drops low, and Hernandez checks his swing. Ball 1. Hernandez 1 for 2 so far today with a single and a grounder into a fielder's choice, and now we got a meeting at the mound with Hart Melton and Coach Brendan O'Connor. Out of the timeout, we reset. 1-0 the count to Hernandez. 2 on, 1 out here on the top of the 5th. And that one's low for ball 2. This one's a high hopper to short, fielded by Brendel. Flip to second for 1. On to first, and they got him for the inning-ending double play. Both teams come through with a huge inning-ending double play. Newton North got it to end the bottom of the 4th, and now Brookline gets the 6-4-3 double play to end the top of the 5th. We move to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 2 apiece. And it will be the top of the Brookline order, Sawada, Siegel, and Brendel, coming up against a new Newton North pitcher. This is number 12, James Kelleher. As he takes over for Adi Arian. Pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, and will end with a no decision on the mound. During this break between the top and bottom of the 5th inning, I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention to a link in the description section of this video. At the top of the description section, you can find a link where you can donate to the At Bat for Brookline Booster Club if you would like to support Brookline High Baseball financially. So be sure to check that out in the description section. All right, leading off for Brookline now, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada 0 for 1 so far today with a ground out and a hit by pitch, a stolen base, and a run scored. He's hit again. Second time today that Sawada gets a leadoff hit by pitch. And once again, he represents the go-ahead run as he stands at first. Sawada doing his best Harrison Siegel impression, getting hit by all these pitches. He had just one hit by pitch coming into today. Now he's got 3. And now at the plate for Brookline is their king of hit by pitches, the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Sawada was fast on the base paths his last time there, so they're checking on him with a couple throws back to first. And another throw back to first. Kelleher showing a lot of concern about Sawada on the base paths. And I mean, what can you say? The concern is warranted. Sawada is fast, and he's taking a sizable lead off from first. Thought about taking off there, but instead holds at first as Siegel swings and misses for strike 1. Siegel so far today 1 for 2 with a double, a reach on error, a run scored, and an RBI as he takes low ball 1 there. Siegel has been involved in both of Brookline's runs so far, and you know he wants to play a role here as Brookline tries to retake the lead. That one misses outside, ball 2. 2-1, the count to Siegel. Throw back to first. That one misses outside, ball 3. 3-1, now the count to Siegel. And that's a low ball 4. No, it's not. It's a low strike 2. Siegel thought he had the free pass, and instead he has a full count. And he fouls that one off and stays alive with a full count. Boy, it's got to be tough trying to mentally recenter yourself from thinking you had a walk to now having your back against the wall with a 2-strike count. That one misses, and this time Siegel was not premature in trotting down to first. So back-to-back free passes for Brookline put runners at first and second with nobody out. As up comes the shortstop, number 9, Elias Brendel. Brendel 1 for 2 so far today with a double and an RBI as Kelleher steps off the mound to try and keep the runners honest. The go-ahead run for Brookline stands at second. That one is going to miss, ball 1. That one's going to miss high for ball 2. The pressure on a relief pitcher in such a tight game to be pitching with not just runners on base, but a runner in scoring position now. And so Hurley comes out to talk to Kelleher. Two and oh, the count to Brendel. Sawada at second, Siegel at first. And he skies this one foul and out of play. And that's a high ball 3. This is such a tough thing for high school relief pitchers is if you come out as a reliever in a tight situation and you start losing control of your pitches, that can compound on itself very fast as the bases are now loaded off of 3 straight free passes. And now the coach coming out to talk to his pitcher. It's been a rough start for James Kelleher, a hit by pitch and 2 walks to load the bases with nobody out. And the cleanup hitter coming up to boot. As after this meeting, it will be the designated hitter, number 22, Charlie Engelman, at the plate for Brookline. So after the meeting, they are still sticking with Kelleher as Engelman steps up to the dish. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1. If you're Brookline, the key here is either get a free pass or put that ball in play. That's a high ball 1. Engelman so far today 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a ground out as he fouls that one off for strike 2. So Engelman now staring down a 2-strike count. All fielders pulled in on the grass as Engelman reaches out, hits a dribbler foul up the third base line. So Engelman stays alive with a 1-2 count. Engelman had a big blast against Newton North the last time these two teams played. Does he have a big blast here with his back against the wall at 1-2? Swing and a miss. Big strikeout get for Kelleher as he caught Engelman chasing high and outside. Now 1 out, and a double play could potentially end the inning with no runs scored, and yet they've still pulled all the infielders up on the grass as the first pitch is high for ball 1. At the plate for Brookline is the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. And that's a high ball 2. Melton, his last time up, grounded out to third to end the 3rd inning. Before that, struck out in the 1st, so 0 for 2 so far today. As he takes high ball 3, and now it's dangerous for Newton North. One more pitch outside the strike zone, and Brookline will take the lead in this ball game. And Melton simply takes that one for strike 1. 3-1 now the count. And that's a low ball 4. And Brookline takes the lead on a bases-loaded walk. Sawada trots home as he goes all the way around the bases without a single ball being put in play. Now coming to the plate, the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch, and he skies it out to the outfield. Right fielder's got it. It's caught. Siegel tags, heading for home, and he beats the throw home. And the sac fly from Hugh Bollinger gives Brookline a 2-run lead. It certainly helps to have your fastest base runners on the base paths in a situation like this. Brookline now leads Newton North 4-2. And Brendel advanced to third on that sac fly, and Brookline is bringing in a courtesy runner for their catcher for Melton now that there's a base open. And that'll be number 19, Devin Chin, who will go down to first. And in the meantime, coming to the plate is the first baseman, number 16, Adam Rosenblatt. Rosenblatt so far this season, 3 for 12 with 5 walks, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBI as he takes a high ball one there. Brookline now leading Newton North 4-2 off of the bases loaded walk and the sac fly. That one hits the zone for strike one. That hits the zone for strike two. 1-2 the count. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Runners at the corners. Chin takes off, swing and a miss. Rosenblatt goes down on strikes. And the inning does end, but Brookline does retake the lead. Our score after 5, Brookline 4, Newton North 2. During this break between the 5th and 6th innings, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, thanks to the generosity of over 140 donors over the past 9 years, BCF has raised over $1.4 million in scholarship funding, and just last year awarded over $180,000 in scholarships to the class of 2023. Your help is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And as always, you can find all that information in the description section down below. We have a new pitcher on the mound for Brookline. Number 9, Elias Brendel, takes over on the hill as he replaces Nico Hart. Meanwhile, number 13, Felix Hom, will take Brendel's place at short. You can see Brendel's stats so far this season. He's appeared in 9 games. Only one of them was a start. He's got a 2-1 win-loss record. He's also got a team-leading 2 saves out of 5 save opportunities. He's pitched 17 1/3 innings with an ERA of 2.42, a whip of 1.96, and 20 strikeouts. And if Brendel were to finish this game, this would be another save. So he is coming in for his 6th save opportunity of the season as he enters with a lead less than 3. Nico Hart would be the pitcher on credit for the win if Brookline holds on. Of course, if Newton North comes back and even ties this game, it turns into a no decision for Hart, and it would become another blown save for Brendel in that case. But he did have a very strong performance out of the bullpen last Wednesday against Wellesley, where he recorded his 2nd save of the year. coming through with a big 1 2/3 shutout innings of relief, I think it was. Or actually, no, it was 2 2/3, I think actually it was. That's right, it was 2 2/3. And he got out of back-to-back bases-loaded jams in the 5th and 6th innings of that game. First pitch from Brendel in this outing is a strike. At the plate for Newton North is the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley. This one fouled off for strike 2. Hurley, his last time up, grounded out to the pitch. Or no, he tried to sneak a bunt. That's right. Tried to get a bunt single, but got thrown out to lead off the top of the 4th. And before that, struck out in the 2nd. So 0 for 2 so far today as he lifts one out towards right center. And Bollinger is under it for out number 1. Now batting the right fielder, number 22, Drew Boucher. Boucher reached on an E6 his last time up and later came in to score a run as he fouls off that pitch, strike 1. He actually singled his first time up, so he's actually 1 for 2 with a run scored, but that one hit was not where he got the run scored from. Melton having a brief chat with Brendel after that pitch. Whoa, that one dangerous. High and inside, ball 1. One and one now, the count to Boucher. That one curves in nicely, strike 2. And that's a low, ball 2. And chases that one low, strike 3. Brendel off to a strong start in this top of the 6th inning. And now cycles around to the top of the order. Coming up for the Tigers, the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Mayoka. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Mayoka got a single his last time up. As that one comes high and inside for ball 2. Before that, flew out to center and grounded out to short. So 1 for 3 so far today for Mayoka. That one catches the inside corner, strike 1. 2-1 the count. And that one in the dirt, ball 3. that misses, ball 4. Mayoka trots down to first with a 2-out walk. Now coming up, the shortstop, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. Huckabone, his last time up, grounded into a fielder's choice that drove in the tying run as he fouls off the first pitch, strike 1, and ump's going to need to walk that one off a bit. Huckabone either 1 for 3 or 0 for 3, depending on whether or not that first hit of his went down as a hit or a reach on error. But either way, he does have an RBI off of that fielder's choice he got last time. That one hit him. Huckabone gets hit by the pitch. Back-to-back free passes allowed by Brendel. And so the tying run is now on first with 2 down here in the top of the 6th. As up comes the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tambasia. Tambasia so far today 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. His last time up, he flew out to left to end the top of the 4th. And he skies this one foul and out of play for strike 1. Mayoka at second. Huckabone at first, representing the potential tying run. 0-1 the count to Tambasia. That one catches the inside corner, strike 2. Brendel 1 strike away from getting out of the jam. That one comes in low. Tambasia doesn't bite. Ball 1. And this one is rocketed deep out to center. Siegel going back, chasing after it at the wall. It drops at the wall. Extra bases. 2 runs are going to come in, and we are tied off a big 2-out double from Danny Tambasia. Mayoka and Huckabone both in to score. A huge turn of events here. Brilliant for Newton North, brutal for Brookline. They got the first 2 outs quick, but then a walk and a hit by pitch kept the inning alive, and Tambasia with a rocket out to deep right center for a 2-run double. First pitch to Sam Perron is in there for strike 1. So this game will go as a no decision for Nico Hart and a blown save for Brendel. That one does catch the outside corner, strike 2. So once again, one strike away, but that's where they were with Tom Basia, and just one big swing was all it took to tie the game. And now Tom Basia, the potential go-ahead run, as a timeout is called. 4-4 the score here in the top of the 6th. Tom Basia, the potential go-ahead run at second for Newton North. 0-2 the count to Perron. Runner taking off for third, and it's a high ball, and they just let him take third. So Tom Basia, the potential go-ahead score, now just 90 feet away with a 1-2 count to Perron. And that ball's way high and gets away from Melton, but Tom Basia opts to hold at third. 2-2 now the count. Two and two, the count to Perron. And that one comes in over his head. And that's... Did I lose track of the balls? I must have lost track because Perron trotting down to first with a walk. I thought the count was 2-2, but clearly I missed one. So runners at the corners now. I mean, unless that one did hit Perron. I mean, it was very close. But now runners at the corners, 2 down, tied at 4. Now up comes the second baseman, number 24, Mateus Avellino. First pitch, he hits it up the middle, and Newton North takes the lead. Mateus Avellino with a go-ahead single to center. Tom Basia trots home as Newton North now goes up 5-4. Now batting the left fielder, number 8, Owen Levine. With runners at first and second, and now a pinch runner coming in for Perron for Newton North. That is number 4, Drew Mealy. That one misses outside, ball 1 to Levine. Avellino at first, Mealy the pinch runner at second. Newton North up 5-4. That one does catch the outside corner, strike 1. Throw down to second, and Mealy gets back safely. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. That one inside, ball 2. Brendel's been having trouble getting that third strike as he turns around, throws to second, and again, Mealy gets back. Two and two, the count to Levine. 2 on, 2 out. Newton North leads 5-4. And he hits a dribbler, chased down by Sawada. Someone's got to cover first, and just barely Brendel gets to first as Rosenblatt got pulled off the bag, trying to chase down the grounder. A chaotic play, but Brookline does get out of the inning, but not before Newton North comes back and takes the lead. After 2 quick outs to start the inning, it was a walk, a hit by pitch, a 2-run double, another walk, and then an RBI single. That gave the Tigers a 5-4 lead going into the bottom of the 6th. Kelleher back on the mound for Newton North. He had some trouble with his pitch control for much of the bottom of the 5th, surrendering 3 walks and a hit by pitch, as 2 runs came in off a bases loaded walk and a sac fly. In this inning, he'll be facing Ben Rosenblatt, then Doctoroff, and then back to the top of the order with Sawada. We might have... Are we going to have any pinch hitters this inning, or... And they are going to stick with their left fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt, to lead off the inning. First pitch fouled off. Strike 1, or actually, oh no, this is a pinch hitter. This is a pinch hitter. This is number 6, Jimmy DiPaolo. Swing and a miss there. DiPaolo quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Swing and a miss there, and quickly DiPaolo goes down on strikes. So Kelleher not hesitating to throw strikes now this inning. Now up the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doctoroff, shows bunt. And he pulls back in time for ball 1. Hurley checked with the first base ump, or well, with the infield ump, who was up the first baseline to check for those kind of things. Says he pulled back in time. That one does hit the zone, and that will be strike 1. 1-1, the count to Doctoroff. Doctoroff 0 for 2 so far today, as he swings and misses there for strike 2. He has grounded out twice, once to third and once into a 6-3 double play at short. That's going to be high, ball 2. And that's a low, ball 3. Count is full to Doctoroff. And that's a high, ball 4. Doctoroff now represents the potential tying run at first base as the top of the Brookline order steps up to the dish. Kelleher had some trouble finding the zone against the top of the order last inning. First pitch is fouled off for strike 1. At the plate is the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. He started that 5th inning rally with a leadoff hit by pitch and later came in to score on the bases loaded walk by Avery Melton. Now up with 1 out and Doctoroff standing at first. Another throw back to first and Doctoroff dives back safe again. Doctoroff thought about taking off, kind of hesitated. Sawada lifts it out to left, and it is caught by the left fielder. And now a chance for a pickoff, does not get there in time. Doctoroff retreats back to the bag. A shoestring catch by Owen Levine out in left, as that will be the second out of the inning. Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. First pitch gets away, sails over the catcher's outstretched glove, and Doctoroff takes second on the wild pitch. So the tying run now in scoring position for Brookline, just like that. But they're going to need a big hit from Siegel if they want to bring him in. Fouls that one off, strike 1. Siegel had a big hit back in the first inning with a double to right center, and he later came in to score. He has scored twice so far today, as last time up he walked and came in on a sac fly by Hugh Bollinger. That one low for ball 2. That one misses outside, ball 3. Three and 1 the count. And he hits a liner out to left field. Doctoroff rounding third. He's going for home. The left fielder juggled it. Easy score for Doctoroff as Siegel goes down to second on the throw. A huge game-tying hit from the co-captain. Can't really see because I turned to look at the base runner, but the ball was juggled by Levine out in left. And so it might have been a close play at the plate had it not been for that juggle. And now an intentional walk is issued to Brendel. They're trying to create a force at every base to try and get out of the inning. So Brendel gets to go to first base for free, which means that now they can get an out by simply tagging the base instead of tagging the runner at third, second, and first base. First pitch to Felix Hom is a grounder over to second, fielded cleanly, thrown to first. And that will be out number 3. Hom was batting in place of Charlie Engelman. But the 4-3 ground out ends the bottom of the 6th inning. We go to the top of the 7th now, tied at 5 apiece. So Elias Brendel returns to the mound for another inning after taking over in the 6th. He'll be facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Newton North: Hernandez, Hurley, and Boucher. It's been a real back and forth fight out here at Warren Field, and now we're at a tie score heading into the 7th and final inning. So if neither team scores, or if they end up scoring the same amount of runs this inning, then we'll be going to extra innings to decide this one. So coming down to the wire here between Brookline and Newton North, leading off for the Tigers in the top of the 7th, the designated hitter, number 14, Luis Javier Hernandez. First pitch, it's a grounder fielded by Doctor off at third. Long throw, missed! Hernandez reaches on the throwing error, and the go-ahead run is on base. Now batting with a runner on first and nobody out, the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley. Hurley flew out to right to lead off the 6th inning. Shows bunt, and the pitch got away from Melton, and Hernandez takes second without even needing a sacrifice play on what might be scored as a passed ball. So a couple of defensive miscues from Brookline to start the inning. And just like that, the go-ahead run is in scoring position after just 2 pitches. And a balk is called on Brendel. And things just going from bad to worse for Brookline as Hernandez now gets a free pass to third. So the go-ahead run now stands at third for Newton North. Count is 1-0 to Hurley. First pitch in there, or this second pitch, I guess, strike one. Wild to think there's only been 3 pitches thrown this inning so far. That pitch comes in high, ball 2. That one misses, ball 3. A 3-1 count to Hurley. And putting runners at the corners could create an interesting situation on the base paths if Hurley were to draw a free pass. All infielders pulled up on the infield grass. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. So a full count to Hurley with Hernandez at third here in the top of the 7th. Big strikeout get there for Brendel for the first out of the inning. Now batting the right fielder, number 22, Drew Boucher. Boucher went down on strikes his last time up. First pitch in the zone, strike one. Hernandez, the potential go-ahead run, still standing 90 feet from the plate. 0-1 the count to Boucher. That one comes in high, ball one. That one high, ball two. 2-1, now the count. And that one misses outside. Another 3-1 count, this time to Boucher. Brendel recovered from the 3-1 count against Hurley. Can he get back in the strike zone here against Boucher? Nope, that one hangs, comes in high, and Boucher trots down to first. Meeting at the mound now for Brookline. Runners at the corners, one out here in the top of the seventh. Now, a walk doesn't hurt as much in that situation, as it does create a situation where they can potentially get an inning-ending double play because they have the forces at second and first. But they would definitely prefer to already have the second out of the inning. Not to mention, there's a high likelihood that Boucher could get sent down to steal second to eliminate that double play possibility and take advantage of the threat of a runner at third to prevent a throw down to second. Now batting, the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Mayoka. First pitch in the zone, strike one. Mayoka, his last time up, he got that big two-out rally started in the top of the sixth by drawing a walk. Hits a chopper over to short, fielded by Hom, flipped second for one, on to first, not in time. Newton North takes the lead on another double play ball that Brookline could not finish. Hernandez trots home. And Newton North now leads Brookline 6-5. Now batting the shortstop, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. First pitch comes high and inside, ball one. Huckabone was hit by a pitch his last time up. Came in to score on the two-run double by Tombasia. Now taking off for second, throw down, couldn't get there. And Mayoka takes second. Two and 0, now the count to Huckabone. with 2 down and a runner at second. This one lifted out to the outfield. Siegel is under it, and he's got it for out number 3. Brookline now down to their last 3 outs. To try and make something happen here, they need at least 1 run to keep this game alive. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Melton, Bollinger, and Adam Rosenblatt. And it looks like Newton North is going to go to a closer here in the bottom of the 7th, as number 6, Ryan Huckabone, takes over on the mound for Kelleher. This is a save situation for Huckabone. Kelleher, as the pitcher on credit, would get the win if Brookline is unable to score, as Brendel would end up with the loss in that situation. With Huckabone on the mound, they put Hernandez at short. So a whole new pitcher for Brookline to try and figure out as they are down to their last chance. And it is the hard-throwing Ryan Huckabone trying to close this out. We've got a Let's Go Brookline from Greg Hoffman in the live chat. As Brookline will need to try and find a rally here. The bottom of the order hasn't done much for Brookline today. It's really mostly been the guys at the top of the order, guys like Sawada and Siegel and Brendel, who have been carrying the offense today. But they need the bottom half of the order to come through clutch here. 1 run is what they need to tie it. 2 runs would win it. In what could be the class of 2024's last game at Warren Field, because I think Wednesday's game on the schedule, it said it was at Parsons. So this could be the last game at Warren for these seniors. Do they have another comeback in them here? Leading off, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. First pitch is low for ball 1. Melton, his last time up, got a bases-loaded walk as he takes low ball 2 there. And that's a low ball 3. So an early hitter's count here as Huckabone's struggling to find the zone. Melton likely to just take this one. Even if it is a strike, he'll probably just take it. And he does take it all the way for strike 1. 3-1 the count. And that one is fouled off for strike 2. So a full count now to Melton to start the bottom of the 7th. Huckabone trying to come back from the 3-0 count and get the first out of the inning. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout to start the inning for Huckabone, as Melton, arguably the most dangerous hitter in this half of the lineup. Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch in the zone, strike one. That pitch misses outside, ball one. That one hits the zone, strike two. 1-2, the count to Bollinger. And he makes contact but fouls that one off. You guys okay? Bollinger stays alive at 1-2 with that foul ball. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts from Huckabone. And Brookline down to their last chance. Now batting the first baseman, number 16, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch high, ball one. Rosenblatt, his last time up, struck out to end the fifth, as that one misses, ball two. And that one does catch the inside corner, strike one. 2-1, the count to Rosenblatt. And he fouls that one off, and Brookline is down to their final strike. It's been a wild back and forth contest here. Have we seen our last back, or is there still some fourth left? That one is low, ball three. Full count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the seventh. Brookline trails Newton North by 1. And that one's going to miss for ball 4. Brookline's hopes stay alive with a 2-out walk by Adam Rosenblatt. And they're going to send out a pinch runner in place of Rosenblatt as Jimmy DiPaolo comes to the plate. Number 19, Devin Chin, is going to run for the Warriors. He represents the potential tying run. As now up is the left fielder, number 6, Jimmy DiPaolo. And he hits a grounder foul up the first base side for strike one. DiPaolo, his last time up, led off with a strikeout in the bottom of the sixth. Oh, I think that hit him. It did. DiPaolo got hit by the pitch. And now there's 2 runners on with 2 down. Oh, and the ump also got nailed by that one. Oof. Now batting for Brookline, the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. It's a brief conference between the umps. I don't know what's going on here. What are they discussing? The only thing I can imagine them discussing is whether or not that was a hit by pitch or a foul ball. And I think that's what they're discussing. Oh my God, that is what they're discussing. This might get the hit by pitch might get overturned. And it's still being discussed. We've seen this kind of overturn go the other way against Newton North. And they're still discussing it because this is a very critical call here. Because this could go from runners at first and second to back to just a runner at first. And boy, this is this is such a brutal situation here for both teams, just standing around waiting for a decision to be made. They're going to uphold the hit by pitch after all that. So it is runners at first and second as up comes the third baseman, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Brookline trying to come back and keep this game alive. That pitch misses, ball 2. 2-0 the count now to Doktoroff. That one way inside, almost hit him, ball 3. 3-0 now the count. 1 ball away from loading the bases. But we saw that same situation with Melton, and Huckabone was able to come back and get the strikeout there. High pressure right now. That one catches the high corner, strike 1. 3-1 the count. That one catches the inside corner, strike 2. Full count, 2 outs once again here in the bottom of the 7th. And a timeout called. Runners will go on this pitch. And that hits the zone, strike 3. The final score here at Warren Field, the Newton North High Tigers 6, the Brookline High Warriors 5. Newton North keeps their hopes of an above 500 season alive as they improve to 8-9 on the season. Brookline falls to 10-9. A thrilling contest that one was. But just as someone needed to win, someone else needed to lose. Three very close strikes by Ryan Huckabone. You could see how frustrated Doctoroff was by that last strike call, but at the end of the day, it is the ump's call. And that is how the game will end. Thrilling contest, back and forth it went. It went 1-0 Brookline to 1-1. 2-1 Brookline, 2-2, 4-2 Brookline to 4-4, to then 5-4 Newton North. Or actually, I know it went from 4-2 Brookline to 5-4 Newton North, then 5-5, and then 6-5 Newton North was the final. Well, that's gonna do it for this one out here at Warren Field. Newton North comes out with a narrow victory. Brookline unable to get the win on senior day, but still they honor their class of 2024 seniors. Keenan Sawada, Harrison Siegel, Charlie Engelman, Avery Melton, Ben Doctoroff, Nico Hart, Ben Rosenblatt, and James Dialchand Erickson. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Brookline High Baseball still has one more game left in the regular season on Wednesday when they host the Flyers of Framingham High School. And as a matter of fact, these two schools will be facing off in a different sport tomorrow, as the Brookline and Newton North boys volleyball teams will be facing off in Newton tomorrow, and I'll have that one covered as well. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who brought the nice messages in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comments section down below. Also, be sure to go down below to the description section of this video where you can find some helpful links. A link where you can donate to the At Bat for Brookline Booster Club if you'd like to support Brookline High Baseball financially. And a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation, if you'd like to donate to any one of their many causes, including the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School. And some links related to me, which you can also see on the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can just email me with any questions or requests you may have. And you can follow me on Instagram, where I sometimes post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Newton North 6, Brookline 5, from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.